when did this first tap into your mind, and why did you decide to execute this?
The defining moment for me was when my kindergartner came home and he said, "Mommy, do you know how long the plastic will remain in landfill?" And I just really felt very sad at that moment because it's our children that we're leaving this planet to, and it's just not fair.
Hey everybody, it's Ideation, and today I'm sitting with a very, very special guest here in Brooklyn. We at Precycle, and I'm sitting with Katerina from Latvia. And we're sitting in a very new building, fresh building, Precycle. So would you just mind explaining what this is all about?
Well, Precycle is the first zero-waste store in northeast of US. The idea is that we want to provide customers with the option of buying food package-free, which is somewhat challenging, not impossible, but usually customers would have to go out of their way to find bulk stores and then, supplement going to different stores and finding ingredients from here and here, and also farmers market. So I wanted to create a store that's kind of both farmers market and bulk shop under one roof. I know that that's something I wanted to shop in.
A farmer's market under one roof, okay.
Yeah, and so here it is, Precycle. It's all very visible. You see the ingredients. They're not hidden behind packaging. That's maybe attractive in colors, and every one of them screams "buy me" instead of the other one next to me. Okay. So I wanted to feature the ingredient itself.
Okay. So when you talk about zero waste, why did you want to focus on a zero waste grocery store?
Well, I think it's, especially if you live in New York, it's very obvious the trash problem in the city. But it's also a global problem. It's not a secret. I mean, we live in climate change. We see the polluted oceans. We see serene nature being spoiled by just trash everywhere. And I think that we need to unlearn things, to go back to the old ways of shopping. And
I want to help you, Latvia. So just so you know, guys, it's 8, almost 9 p.m. and we're sitting here and we're doing this interview, and it goes to show type of hard worker you are. So
thank you.
What came into the beauty about this interview is because I saw people who have been in business for 10, 15, 20 years, and you just opened up 6 days. So I get to really tap into the early startup phase. So what was some of the, first off, how long did it take for you to, once you found the building, to actually create this space right here?
Well, that was actually a very small amount of time.
Oh, really?
I just want to go back and say that even though it seems like just 6 days and maybe a few months of build out, but the process itself is more than 3.5 years of planning, research, and just putting it together. Because the idea is it's not a new concept, but it's not something that's done on every corner. So there is a lot of hurdles that you need to figure out. The build out itself took a little longer than I would like to, about 5 months.
Wow.
It's partially because it's very difficult to get Department of Building permits and things like that. So there's a lot of red tape. And then, you have to deal with different contractors, and it all takes time. But we're here.
So talk to me about that. So you said it was a 3 to 4 month ideation, but 3 to 4 year ideation. So this has been in your mind for 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
So when did this first tap into your mind, and why did you decide to execute this?
Well, it wasn't just one thing.
Okay.
It was a gradual process for me personally to create sort of this habits of shopping bulk and buying things in farmers market and really working on lowering the trash amount that I put out there. So it started with that, and then gradually I realized that I could do more, and I think defining moment for me was when my kindergartner came home and he said, "Mommy, do you know how long the plastic will remain in landfill?" And I just really felt very sad at that moment, because it's our children that we're leaving this planet to, and it's just not fair.
So all of your products are organic, correct?
Well, organic is organic certification doesn't.
Okay.
It's a process. It's a very difficult process for a small farmer to go through.
Okay.
So as long as the farmer is practicing good, sustainable practices, working with the soil and growing crops, that's what I pay most attention to.
Oh, so you try to focus on products that are natural, organic, and naturally sourced
Yes,
products?
yes.
I mean, it must be difficult finding all of your products like that, but for the most part, that's your main focus. So where do you source some of these products? Because I'm looking around, there's some things that I want to purchase before I leave. How do you find these great products?
That's where the 4 years come into play.
Oh, the research.
I had to work with different suppliers and talk to them. And it's not only that as a business, I wanted to help customers to reduce their waste when they, bring things home package free, but I also have to think on the other end, how am I receiving these things? Because I do produce waste as a business. It's inevitable. All these things, they just they cannot come package free. So I had to work with suppliers to figuring out what is the most optimal solution. Like, is it a paper sack, or is it like a cardboard, or things that can be recycled? So that was a challenge.
So you want to reduce as much waste as possible, and that's where a lot of the research came into play for you, correct?
Absolutely.
And then you did 3 or 4 years of research. What else went into those 3 to 4 years? You said a lot of it was research. What about researching your location? Why did you choose 321 Star Street?
Oh, yeah, actually, finding a space was a challenge. I 2.5 years, I basically, from the day that I started looking to the day that I found the space, it took 2.5 years. I bid on several spaces. Landlords are not exactly eager to give a space to a startup, especially to a concept that hasn't been really proven to work. So they find it a little bit risky. I do have a business background, but it was something else that I did before. So it was new for me, and it was risky for landlords, in their opinion. In terms of why I ended up here, I think that this location kind of chose me. It was a coincidence. I wasn't really focusing on this neighborhood, but once I started paying more attention, I realized that this is a really good area to be in. And this building, this space, when I walked in, I just knew that this is the right space.
All right, so now that you've opened up, what are some things that we were discussing off camera? You were saying that right now you're working by yourself, right? Because you want to just kind of learn the shop, learn people buy, and things of that nature. What exactly are you looking at right now? What are you studying?
Well, I'm trying to figure out the processes, how things work, because small things like sometimes people bring a jar that the lid is very small, the opening is very small, so it's hard to procure food from these gravity bins, things like that. So I'm trying to find ways how to work with my customers, and I need to understand it fully before I can teach it.
Before you can bring on a new customer.
Yeah.
And I'm looking around at this place, and you do have amazing products. There's a lot that I'm sure you want to maybe renovate or upgrade. But what are some things that you're very proud of? Because I know you can look back and say, oh, but what if this happened, any of this happened? What are 3 things that you can say, no, I'm very proud these 3 things happened to me? I know that might be difficult, but I want you to think about that, yeah.
I am very proud of myself that I'm actually opened up and I'm on the camera, because I'm by nature, very shy person.
Oh, wow.
That was a stretch for me, and it's something I need to learn, and I realized that I have to, my message is bigger than me, so I need to learn how to do that. So that's a big one. I'm very happy the way space came together, and I am extremely grateful for the journey it's been so far, because I met some incredible people that helped me along the way and that taught me things, and this journey continues, and it's been a really eye-opening, and I feel fulfilled. So that's, I guess,
Okay.
that's I'm very grateful for that.
So you're grateful that you're stepping out of your shell. You're grateful that you saw this whole process through.
Yeah.
I would say give me one more, but I think I get the point. So, you said your message is bigger than you being shy. That's what you. But what? Okay.
Yeah. Well, I guess I believe in this concept. I do want people to take it on and adapt it in their own lives. So I feel like it's not really just how I feel about being on the camera. I have to do this because this is the purpose of this whole place.
But I do want to know. So what exactly is the message that you want to give to people?
What exactly is that message? Come in and give it a try, and try to adapt small steps. Unless you can go and just be zero waste, that's great. But it's challenging, especially if people have families and responsibilities, jobs. But I want to, I guess, say that it can be done, and it doesn't have to be inconvenient, and just try it.
Okay. And beautiful. I know we have to go in a bit. I do have to reiterate, it's almost 9 p.m. and we're doing this interview. It's been a long day for both of us, and I'm so glad we're able to see this through. We do have to cut it short, but before we go, there's some really quick questions I want to ask you. Urgency or patience or urgency?
Patience or urgency? Patience.
Okay. All right. The law of attraction or the law of action?
Oh gosh, law of action.
Law of action.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, if someone said, okay, Catalina?
Katerina.
Am I? Okay.
Katerina.
Catalina. Right. Someone said, listen, I want to build, not Precycle, but I want to build another version of Precycle. I want to build this exact same thing. And you agreed to it, right? I want to build this exact same concept. What would you tell them to do, and what would you tell them not to do?
I'd say it depends where the place is. But I would be totally open to talking to them and sharing my experiences.
What's the one thing you would tell them, okay, don't do that. Trust me, don't do that.
I don't know yet.
You don't know yet. I mean, just from the 3 years of preparation of starting up to now, what will be
Try to avoid DOB at any cost.
What's DOB?
Department of Buildings.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why would you say that? I don't know anything about DOB.
Well, it's just a really lengthy and frustrating process.
Wow.
It's a lot of red tape.
Wow. So
if you can get a space that is that has a fridge, the walking box, and doesn't need any renovations aside from cosmetic work, I'd say that's an ideal spot.
Okay. And what would you say? Definitely do that. It's going to save you so much time.
I would have to think about that.
You have to think about that.
Yeah. Sorry, it's also very late.
It's okay.
It doesn't come to mind.
Thank you so much. I'm going to buy that ginger. I'm looking at that ginger.
It's made in Brooklyn.
Made in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Love it, love it, love it. Before I go, right, you said you're from Latvia, right?
Yes.
When did you move here to New York?
I moved 18 years ago.
18 years ago.
Yes, and I always felt at home.
Oh wow, you've been
New
here
York is
longer
my
than
home.
me actually. Wow, and I'm from here. New York in one word.
It's inclusive.
Inclusive.
Yeah, I feel like you feel at home. It takes on people from all over.
It's a
community.
It's a
a melting
place,
pot,
right?
if you will. That's what the people say.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Thank you for watching. If you're in Brooklyn, if you're in New York, make sure you stop by this place. I'll leave the link below. And where can Precycle?
Precycle NYC is the website.
Precycle NYC is the website. Go on the Instagram page. I'll leave that link below. Make sure you check it out. And I will, again, thank you again because I know it's late. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Remember, be great.